We're doing volumes and surface area of pyramids and cones. All right, so when you have a pyramid, these are the parts of the pyramid. We start out with the slant length, which is drawn from the pyramid's vertex up here at the top, and it's drawn to the midpoint of the other side. You'll be given that information, okay? You don't have to figure it out. You'll be told this is the slant length, okay? The other thing that you have is the height. The height is drawn from the vertex perpendicular to the base. You know that the base is down here on the bottom, okay? And when we refer to the base, we're typically referring, let me get my pen here. We're typically referring to the big B, okay? Big B for means that you got to find the area of the base, okay? So that's this part down here in the tan color. And then the perimeter of the pyramid is going to be this blue that goes all the way around. You know that. The perimeter of the base is what you're concerned with whenever we're working problems in this section. And you know to get to the perimeter that you got to add all the sides up. All right, now let's look at something here. Surface area. Now see, some of this stuff is going to look a little intimidating, but you're going to be given the formulas. You don't have to worry about memorizing the formulas right now. But you're going to be given the formulas, and all you've got to do is be able to work with the formulas. Now look, surface area is equal to the base area, B, plus 1/2 times the perimeter, P, times the slant length. And this here I've got it as SL, slant length. So we've got find the surface area of the square pyramid at the left. It's a square pyramid because the base is a square. That's how you identify pyramids, okay, by the base. So this is a square pyramid, and we start out with surface area equals B. Well, B, the big B, is the area of the base. So let's try it. Length times width, which would be 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1/2 times the perimeter. The perimeter is 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, which gives us 20. And the slant length is 13. So that gives us surface area equals 25 plus 1/2 of 10. I did it again. 1/2 of 20 is 10. And 10 times 13 is 130. So that gives us a surface area of 155, centimeters squared. Now it's your turn to try one. Find the surface area of the rectangular pyramid at the left. Now it's just a tad different. It's not a square pyramid, so keep that in mind as you work this problem. Pause the video, try it, and then come back to me. Okay, so let's try this out. Surface area equals base is the area of the base down here, 6 times 9, which is 54, plus 1/2 perimeter, P. That's perimeter, remember, is of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times width. So that gives us perimeter equals 2 times 6 plus 2 times 9. And that gives us perimeter equals 12 plus 18, which is 30. So we come back up here and we put 30 here. Our slant length is 10. So that gives us surface area equals 54 plus 1/2 of 10 is 5, and 5 times 30 is 150. So that gives us surface area equals 204, and it's meters squared this time. Did you get that? Alright, now we're going to deal with volume. The volume of a pyramid is 1/3 the product of the base, B, big B, and the height, H. And remember, when we're dealing with B, the big B, we're talking about the area of the base, okay? So this is the height. This is the base down here. You get the area of the base. And let's see what we got here. Find the volume of the pyramid below. The volume equals 1/3 times the area of the base. The area of this base is 6 times 12, which gives us 72. And the height is 15. So that gives us volume equals 1/3 times 72 is 24 times 15. So that gives us volume equals 360, and it's feet. And remember, volume is cubed. I bet it's your turn. It is your turn. Find the volume of the pyramid below. Now there are some distractors down here, things to make you look away from the right things to use. So make sure you remember the height is drawn from the pyramid's vertex down to the perpendicular to the base, and the big the big B is the area of the base. All right, try it and then come back to me. All right, here we go. Volume equals 1/3 times big B. 7 times 3 is 21. And the height is 5 right here. These 11s are all distractors. All right, so times 5. So that gives us volume equals 1/3 of 21 is 7. And 7 times 5 is 35. And it's inches cubed. All right, here's another one. Find the volume of the square pyramid below. So let's start out. Volume equals 1/3. The big B means the area of the base. Since this is a square pyramid, all the sides are going to be 6. So it's 6 times 6 is 36. And the height is, well, they don't give you the height, do they? But they do give you this information and this information. And what do we have right here? This forms a right triangle. And a right triangle is a special triangle, so that gives us an opportunity to learn something new. The Pythagorean Theorem. You'll remember I showed you the video on Donald Duck and Math Magic Land. I hope that you remember that from the first of the year. And Pythagoras was not only one of the main men in math, like the father of mathematics, but he's also the father of music, because he's the one that developed the chords in music. So he developed this theorem, the Pythagorean Theorem, named after him. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. One leg of a right triangle squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. This is the leg of the triangle. They're the ones that are on each side of the right angle. And the hypotenuse is the one that's opposite it. So let's see what it looks like here in practice. So the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The a and the b don't matter. It can be, the a could be 4 or the a could be 3. The b could be 3 and the b could be 4. These don't matter. What matters is the c. The c is always the hypotenuse, the long line that is opposite the right angle. So let's try to figure one out. That gives us 4 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. So that will be 16 plus 9 equals c squared. That'll give you 25 equals c squared. And now the answer to that, to get c, is what number can you multiply by itself and get 25? And the answer is 5. So that means your hypotenuse over here is 5 meters. Excuse me. All right, now what if you were given different information? This time you're given a leg and the hypotenuse. So if you're given the leg and the hypotenuse, you do it the same way. A squared you don't have. B squared is 3. And c squared is 5 squared. All right, so we go a squared plus 9 equals 25. We do minus 9 on both sides of the equals sign. And that gives us a squared equals 16. And to get the a, is what number can I multiply by itself and get 16? And the answer is 4. So this would be a 4 right here. So you're going to have to practice, get used to being able to use the Pythagorean theorem. You'll be given the formula. You just got to know when to use it. So let's go back to our original problem here. Let's start again. Volume equals 1/3 times the base. It's a squared pyramid, so that's 6 times 6 times the height. So we've got to find out what the height is right here. So let's come over here and we'll do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This is a leg. Here's the right angle. Right here. So this is a leg and this is a leg, so we'll go 5 squared plus b squared equals, and 13 is the hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle, so that's 13 squared. So that gives us 25 plus b squared equals 169. We do minus 25 on both sides of the equal sign. And that gives us b squared equals 144. And the answer to that will be b equals. What number can I multiply by itself and get 144? And the answer is 12. So that means our height is 12. So we can come up here now and put 12 here. Then we go volume equals. What's 1/3 of 36? That's right, it's 12, and 12 times 12 is 144, and it's millimeters. Volume is cubed. So that's a little wrinkle that's thrown in there so that you have to use the Pythagorean theorem.